Story time! Okay, so this happened on the 4th of July in 2019, and I was 11 years old and my cousin was like 12 or 13 at the time. So the whole family was together at my uncle's house, but for some reason this year my cousin didn't want to buy fireworks. So then after a while of the family just chilling, me and my cousin wanted to go to the beach, so we asked my mom if she could take us, and she did. Now, you know when you have like a gut feeling that something bad's gonna happen? Yeah, that's how I was feeling. Something wasn't sitting right with me, but I was like, you know what, fuck it, like I'm still gonna go with my cousin. So we get to the beach, and this is where everything went downhill. The beach we wanted to go to was about a 35-minute walk, and me and my cousin had packed a bag with waters, ice creams, and other snacks and like things to play in the sand with. So then we finally get there around 8:30, and that's when the fireworks were already starting. The fireworks show lasted about 3 hours, so we decided to go and get crepes. So then while we're walking to the crepe stand, the fireworks had just ended. We were standing there at the shop, and my mom was like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. You guys stay right here. I'll be right back. The bathroom was literally right next to the crepe stand, so she wasn't that far from us. And then while she's in there, me and my cousin started hearing more fireworks. So obviously we thought like, oh, they're still doing fireworks. Like we thought it ended. And me and my cousin were standing there waiting for her to come back out when all of a sudden we started hearing fireworks again. Mind you, they had just finished doing the fireworks. After we heard a few fireworks pop, both me and my cousin got pushed behind the crepe shop by a big old police officer. Now, I was really confused at this point because I seen a man on the ground in handcuffs. The police were everywhere. They were on top of this man. And of course, both me and my cousin asked the police officer what was going on. And it turns out that the fireworks that we were hearing weren't actually fireworks. They were actually him shooting. And I was literally standing right next to the man while he was doing it. One of my family friends was hit in the leg, and another lady was hit in the chest. I was really scared, obviously, as any other person would. And when we were leaving, we overheard people saying that somebody had placed a B word in a hotel near the beach, but we ended up finding out that it was a lie, thank God. So then fast forward to now, every 4th of July that we have had after this situation happened, we have never gone back to the beach anymore, especially for the 4th of July. The entire family meets up at the house still, and we have our own carne asadas, and we eat, and we have our own fireworks as well.
Get ready with me to break up with my cheating boyfriend. I haven't seen him in a week, and this is the last time he'll ever see me, so I have to look extra good. So backstory is his family has like a lot of family friends, and like I know this, and we've dated for over a year, and he's hung out with them like a few times. So this didn't take me by surprise at all. He was like, we're going on a family vacation with both of our families. We're going to Mexico. I'm like, cool, that sounds so fun. Let's FaceTime. Like, obviously, let's stay in touch. Like what a good, loving girlfriend would want to do when she's in love with someone. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. We might not be able to every day because, like, they don't want it to be like a phone kind of vacation. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I respect it. I don't want to be like a controlling girlfriend. That's not who I am. So I know the family friend has like two like daughters, like one grade above him and a grade below him. So like I know that already. And they're in like a hotel, and he's like, oh, I'm sharing a room with my sister. She's showering right now, because like I hear the shower going. I'm like, okay, whatever, it's his sister. I'm not thinking much of it, but I see like something on his neck. I'm like, is that a hickey? And he's like, no, like you're crazy. And like I asked like a few times, but like I didn't want to like be like, you know, crazy, because like I didn't really know. Then like the next day he's like, we can't FaceTime anymore, like my parents are getting mad. I'm like, okay, that's weird, but fine. But here's where the story gets crazy. So he posts a picture on his like main Snapchat story, and it's like a picture like looking at the beach. But in the sand, there's like a heart with his initial plus one of the girl's initials, M. So I slide up and I'm like, oh my God, that's so weird and like funny. Like, did you like recognize this? Like, did you see that? Like, blah, blah, blah. Still not thinking anything of it. He's denying everything. He's like, there was nothing in the sand. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. And I'm like, I literally saw it. Like, now I'm getting sussed out. Now I'm like, this is so weird. Like, you could have been like, yeah, I saw that. That's what a coincidence. But no, he was like, that, like, it wasn't there. And I'm like, like, this is weird. So I had my suspicions. So I went to go find these girls' Instagrams. Turns out it was their 6-month anniversary vacation, just them two together, and I just had no idea. So congratulations to the happy couple. He doesn't know I know this though, and he thinks we're all good.
I lied to my husband and told him I couldn't get pregnant so that we wouldn't have children. Ever since I was small, I knew I didn't want to be a mom. But I did want to get married, and I knew that this was going to make it harder for me to find a husband if he knew that I didn't want to have kids. When I met my now husband, I was 32 and my mom and I were desperate for me to get married. Because my mom and I were so desperate to find me a man, we were literally turning rocks over to find anybody. I mean anybody. I signed up for every dating app and went on about 20 dates in the first month. I finally settled on the guy I'm married to now. He was also desperate for a relationship at the time, so we got engaged really quickly. In my desperation to get married, I decided that I would lie. I spoke to my mom and we both agreed that it would be best to just say I couldn't have kids. During our engagement, we'd had a conversation about children, but I told him that I had never gotten checked and that I didn't even know if I could have children, but he said it probably wouldn't be a problem because I was pretty healthy. But once we got married, I told him I went to the doctor to get checked and I was told I was infertile. He was devastated. What a liar. I honestly didn't realize how much he would suffer and I did regret it. I felt so bad I almost went back on the lie. A few days later, he told me that we could adopt. I told him that the only kids I wanted to have were his, not someone else's. My mom ended up spilling the beans to my dad about the lie, and my dad went crazy on me. He showed up to my house in the middle of the night and almost forced me to tell my husband the truth. He said he was so disappointed that I would come up with such a lie just to get married. I told him he didn't understand because he got married young and men don't have a problem finding wives, but it's the opposite for women. Also, my dad didn't even know that I didn't want to have kids. He was crushed. He said he was hoping to become a grandfather and he even cried. I managed to calm my dad down, but I didn't speak to my mom for 2 months for telling on me. I constantly go out with all my friends that have kids, and I really wish I had that relationship with a child. I made a mistake, and now I want to fix it. The really messed up thing is that I've been taking birth control. I've been taking birth control this entire time that we've been married. My husband doesn't know, and as soon as I decided I did want to have kids, I stopped taking the birth control. Oh my gosh. I ended up getting pregnant about 3 weeks later. I think I'm just gonna act surprised like we both found out at the same time. I'll tell him that the original doctor must have been wrong and that it was a misdiagnosis. This is obviously gonna make my husband happy, so wish me luck.
This happened to my best friend a couple months back, and of course it was the one day I didn't go with her. Still hate myself for that. And we have definitely dealt with our fair share of creeps at the gym, and that's with us being together. There was a guy there that would literally stalk us and plan his times to be at the gym when we were there, and that ended up getting crazy, but even with that, I think this was the worst time. Coffee break. So at the gym we went to, there was like this movie room, and it's just filled with cardio machines, but it's super dark in there. Usually we go in there at the end of our workout, so she went in there, got on the treadmill, and she was the only person in there, which is rare. And she said she started getting this feeling like someone was watching her. So she turns around, there's 2 like Stairmasters behind her in the corner, but nothing. So she's like, okay, I must just be tripping, I'm just gonna keep working out, it's probably fine. But she just like could not shake this feeling, so she turns around again, and that's when she sees him. There is literally a whole man squatting behind the Stairmaster just watching her. Bro had just been watching her from behind run on the treadmill, and she'd been in there for like 15 minutes. He had been squatted down in the corner in the dark doing God knows what. She was like, Jesse, I literally jumped off of my treadmill when I saw him. It scared me so bad. It's like any sensible person, he literally grabs her stuff as fast as she possibly can so she can get out of there. And he literally stands up and he looks at her and goes, where do you think you're going? Like, away from you freaking perv. And she was like, Jesse, I didn't even know what to do. I literally just grabbed my stuff and ran. She ran out of the movie area, out of the gym, and literally ran to her car. And I was like, I don't blame you. I probably would have done the same thing. So she sped out of the parking lot, and that's when she called me on her way home, and she was like freaking out. And I was like, I am never letting you go to the gym without me ever again. I was like, you need to call front desk, let them know about this guy. And she's like, okay, I will. So yeah, petition to start an all-girls gym.